Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Fire Up. Are we fired up tonight or what?
Yay. No, just kidding. Woo!
Well, for those of you, I know it's getting kind of late, but actually, all you soccer fans that are here in the United States, the USA plays and starts in 5 minutes. I think they're doing the national anthem as we speak. So, hey, you should be fired up. You got a soccer game to watch, and more importantly, you got us to listen to first or while you're watching.
Poor Curacao. I'm pretty sure they're eliminated from going any further. I think England is too.
No, there's a lot of draws.
Because
I think
they had a loss.
a lot of points. I think it's going to come down to something. I haven't checked it up now, but I think something's happening. Because there's a lot of players a lot of teams that went, like drew a lot. Like Brazil drew like 1-1. There are a lot of 1-1 teams and a lot of tie teams. A lot. And a lot of the teams like overscored and underscored again. So these points are kind of getting slimmed.
Aren't they in the same group as Germany, though? I think Germany, because of that big blowout win they had to start, they're ahead of them.
So the ones that are already eliminated are Haiti, Turkey, Tanzania, Jordan, Panama, Qatar, Czechia, and Curacao. So the ones that have already qualified are Mexico, United States, Germany, Argentina, France, Norway, Colombia, Switzerland, Canada, Bosnia, Brazil, Morocco, South Africa, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Netherlands, Japan, and Sweden so far. But yeah, because there have been a lot of tiebreakers, it's been kind of unusual, they said. So it should be interesting. But
it's going to be fun.
Who's been watching?
I've been watching at night. I took the advice of Trevor Noah, and he said that Telemundo does not break away during the hydration breaks, and it's very true. So I there was some advert like in the beginning of the match, towards the end of the match, I mean like halftime, but like these hydration breaks, like they're showing everything, like sweating and pamping and like like riding things. So it was pretty cool. It was really nice. And Colombia, of course. So
MDE 723. Hello.
That's Michael Ditton Edwards, our newest writer for the South Florida Tribune.
Yes. Samir, have you been watching the World Cup at all?
I have a little bit. I was watching the game this past Saturday. It was the Netherlands and I can't remember who it was. The Netherlands
were the black one, right?
Yeah, in Sweden they won 5-1. So I was watching that. They had the the watch party in Centennial Olympic Park in Atlanta. So I went down for that. It was pretty cool.
How was the watch party?
It was packed, but I mean, I think it was a pretty cool atmosphere though. So,
and considering that wasn't even a local like USA or anything like that, those were
that's like cool. Haiti. There's like Haiti drew a large crowd in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Nice. Jeremy, have you been watching any of the World Cup?
Nope.
No.
He's thinking. He's thinking. He's not too sure. He's kind of thinking.
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely sure I haven't watched one game.
I gotcha. I've really been I watched the first USA match. The second one we were on the road, so we did not see that one. But I do have it on right now in the background. So, and this is the first
I just
year
have the game cast going.
This is the first year that they expanded to 48. If you caught the show that was on South Florida Tribune's network before this sports wrap, we talked about it, how it expanded the field and allowed more countries to get in, allows more revenue, allowed more games. It was amazing how it went up in number of games being played. But we'll see how it goes. But exciting times, especially if you're from any of the other countries. If you're a big soccer fan, it's cool. It's cool to see the excitement brought to the United States because it is different type of fan base. I will say, we also talked about that on the previous show. Is that the fans? If you go to a football game outside of the United States, it is a crazy different atmosphere than I will say of any sport in America.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, the attendance at their games, the way they react.
Yeah. Like I think
Yeah,
years
well,
ago I was in
Done.
oh wow. Okay. So as I was saying, I think years ago I was in Barcelona and I can't remember what tournament it was, but they had this big win in a tournament. And this was late at night. And they were like, the party they had on the streets were the kind of parties you see here when teams win championships. It was that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, hello.
Hello, Eddie.
Hello, Eddie. In stereo.
What were you going to say, Fernando? Because I know you raised your hand.
Oh, no, it was just kind of this more about like our conversation last week was about like how expensive these tickets are and atmospheres and the excitement and the entertainment. And I was kind of like thinking, not this is not the show for, but just to kind of add into the value that I was talking about last week was that all of a sudden all these negative comments about these countries and these things are just gone. Like no one's getting kidnapped, nothing's being happened. These stadiums are being filled up, and it's either the sports economy's not being subject from the other outside economy stuff, but like to have these stadiums packed for Uganda, all these foreign countries who are considered third are just out of this world. Like the support is just everywhere. And to have people finding out that ranch is amazing. Like it's a pretty cool experience. That I saw something funny that said that like the US is having like an international sleepover with his cousins. It's just like everything's just mixing well. But yeah, I just like to see these excitements, and it's I can't wait to go on Saturday. I'm going to the Panther Arena, and then on Sunday going to the Fan Fest in Miami. So just taking advantage of these free activities.
Hi, Scarlett. That's what they asked.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to say it before they typed it again.
Do you have any activations that you go to, Samir, in Atlanta?
Activations?
Yeah, like brands or giveaways or something. Coca-Cola is doing something.
Wait, for what specifically?
For the FIFA.
Oh, for the FIFA? No, not really. Like, again, I know they're having watch parties near downtown, so they've got different activities, as you mentioned there. They've got, I know Coca-Cola, they're involved in a lot of what's going on there, along with some local restaurants, local vendors that are catering. So that's kind of, I would say those are the organizations or brands that are a part of it.
Got you.
I don't know if you guys are watching, and if anyone doesn't want to hear anything, probably you want to mute right now, but USA already scored.
Oh, wow.
It's 1-0 already. So that didn't take long at all. Hello, Orlando.
I said hi, Scarlett. I don't know why you're saying
it multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's kind of cool to see the USA doing as well as they are. They haven't always had the success that they're having. I was reading something about the coach and how the coach was excited and he was excited how we brought the team together and how they're playing together. Where would I? How Pochettino, if I'm saying it right, rebuilt the men's team and now has a nation eyeing historic World Cup run. They're doing better than they have in quite some time. But from what I've been told, because I'm not a huge soccer fan, he is a really good coach. So good thing he's on U.S. side. But yeah. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Well, I thought you had subjects.
I do. Which one would you like to go to first?
That starts with the NFL. Those are his first word starts with.
Okay, let's do NFL. We decided last week that we're going to start a series, and tonight we're going to talk about the 5 greatest NFL running backs. And then each of us were to prepare 3 from your team. So let's go ahead and let's start with, who do we think? So I'm guessing we're going to probably agree on the top 3 at least of them. I'm guessing. I could be wrong, but
I don't know. I mean, you might not agree with mine. So
okay, well, hey, that's okay. You want to go first then?
Yeah.
So this is like our top, not like concessions, like you said, Samir, like you're confident, so like your pick 3 would be a surprise for people is what I'm listening.
Yes.
And you're cool with that?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Let's do it. Yeah, let's run it. Yeah. I want to hear this. I'd love to learn more about you.
Yeah, for sure. So greatest top 5 greatest running backs all time. Should I go from 5 to 1? You said top 5, right? So should I go from 5 to 1 or?
That sounds good. Yep. Let's start with number 5.
All right. So number 5, I've got Jim Brown. Number 4, I've got Walter Payton, 3 MVPs, 8 All-Pro seasons. So he, alongside that defense, was the face of that 85 Bears team. They're one of the best teams the NFL has seen to this day. Number 4, I've got Jim Brown. Wait, hold on. I think I said
Walter Payton.
Yeah, 4, I've got Walter Payton. My fault. Number 3, I've got Adrian Peterson. And here's why. A lot of you guys might not agree with this, but here's why. Well, not only the fact that he came into the league and dominated immediately, but I have him at 3rd for 2 reasons. Number 1, the era he played in. So he came in 07. So it was the late 2000s, early 2010s. The NFL evolved. Offensive schemes and game plans now went from revolving around running backs to more pass-heavy, quarterback-friendly West Coast offenses. And even with that, he still rushed for at least 1,200 yards in 6 of his first 7 seasons in the NFL. The 1 year he didn't, he had a high ankle sprain and then eventually an ACL and MCL tear. That was 2011. Now, what's more impressive, this is my 2nd reason, is that the year he was coming off of that injury, which oftentimes running backs don't come back the same when you have an ACL tear or an MCL tear, in his case, both. He rushed for over 2,000 yards, 1 MVP, and came 8 yards short of breaking Eric Dickerson's record for the most rushing yards in a single season. Then you got to look a few years later. He had to sit out nearly all of 2014 because he had some personal issues with him and his family. They were ongoing issues. And then he comes back the next year, 2015. Keep in mind his age 30 season, that's when running backs start to tail off. He rushes for 1,500 yards. So that's why I have AP at number 3. Number 2, Emmitt Smith. 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons. That's an NFL record, and that's not getting broken anytime soon. There's zero chance the Cowboys have the success they did in the 90s without him. Like, they don't have that dynasty. Even with those Hall of Famers, Irvin, they went and got Deion Sanders, went and got Charles Haley, Troy Aikman, that great offensive line. That team ran through Emmitt Smith. People forget It was after the year after they won their first Super Bowl. He wanted a new contract, and he didn't have a new contract by the start of that season. He held out, and the Cowboys went 0-2 in those 2 games. Once they signed an extension, he went back, won another division title, and won another Super Bowl. And then number 1 is Barry Sanders. 15,000 total rushing yards, 6 first-team All-Pros, an MVP, 4-time rushing champion. Had he not retired early, his numbers would have looked even better. He retired in the middle of his prime, and he was probably the most talented running back the game has ever seen. So it's my top 5. I've got
Boom.
Jim Brown at 5, Walter Payton at 4, AP at 3, Emmett at 2, and Barry Sanders at 1.
Okay.
That's a realistic list.
Fernando.
I had the confidence that Samir was going to say something completely different. So the way I saw Jeremy's face, I think I will skip my turn for Jeremy because Jeremy has.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. My 5 is not that kind of my top 5. But yeah, my 5 is quite different. So
Okay.
I
Okay,
like to be skipped. I like to be skipped.
Let's
Okay,
see. That's what it is. You like to be skipped. Okay. Go ahead and put up my graphic. I'm going to start with my honorable mention of Terrell Davis. He's just outside my top 5. At 5, I have Emmitt Smith. At 4, I have Eric Dickerson. At 3, I have Jim Brown. At 2, I have Walter Payton. And at 1, I have Barry Sanders. That's my top 5 with an honorable mention. I didn't put AP in there because it's not just those guys were class acts off the field as well as on. And some of the off-field stuff, you say family problems. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know what the family problems were, and that's something I will not condone. And due to character, he will never be in my top 6 even.
And see, Jeremy, the only thing that I think I switched up on you is I put LaDainian Tomlinson in there.
That was
did you
my
take
honorable
out?
mention.
Who did you take out?
I had Tomlinson, Emmitt Smith, Peyton, Jim Brown, and Barry Sanders.
Interesting.
What's funny is he was a better pass catcher than everybody realizes. He just wasn't targeted much. Barry Sanders actually had a 97% catch rate as a running back. They just didn't do it very often.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Barry Sanders had a staggering 5.0 yards per carry over his 10-year career. Not many get close to that.
10-time Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
He was a Pro Bowler every year he was in the league. None of the other guys can say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and let's face it, we didn't play as many games back then either.
Well, Barry didn't only played 14 and 16 at the end. He started with 14. And so if you actually think about it, he was the same as Walter Payton, but Payton retired as it transitioned to 16 games.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Any other comments, Fernando, or no? You good?
No. I'm contemplating. I'm piggybacking off of this one, or just wait for your list, Candy.
Oh no, I
She already
just.
said it.
Oh, that was your list. Okay. So
Yep.
My list was based off my era. I would say like 1990 to like maybe 2003 is when I cared. That 13-year stretch is kind of like what my era is, and I kind of went from who I followed, what was in the culture, what was in the video games, what was on TV. So I thought it was like 3 and 3, but I'll have the 5 because I think everybody's having little tops.
Well,
So
yeah,
my
I
people
think I
are
went 5 overall, and then I said 3 from your team. So that's why you got
got you. So you said, well, I had to give up because there's not many running backs in the Dallas Cowboys era, so only have 2. So my Cowboys is Emmitt Smith and Marion Barber. And then my top 3 is LT, Terrell Davis, and Garrison Hurst. Those were like the running backs that was just pounding, that was all over with the Niners and rivalry and video games. Like those my receivers, LT, Terrell Davis, TD himself, back-to-back Super Bowls. Like it was just like a monster. That was just like prime ESPN, everything that generation, 1990 to 2003. So those my Emmitt Smith, Marion Barber, who was a beast, and those are my LT, AD, and LT, TD, and Garrett Hurst.
I would say for my top 3 Falcons, I've got Gerald Riggs at 3, William Andrews at 2, and then Michael Turner at 1. And in regard to Michael Turner, when you think about that team he was on, and this kind of goes back to my argument about AP in that particular era, when you think about that Falcons team, you think of, Matt, Julio, Roddy, Tony Gonzalez, and quarterback and pass catchers. They were the focal point of NFL offenses.
Mm-hmm.
He was LT's backup for a number of years in San Diego, signs here in 2008, same year Matt Ryan gets drafted. Mike Smith, first-year head coach. He rushes for 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns, including, which I think is an NFL record for a player making a debut with their team, 220 yards and 2 touchdowns in Atlanta week 1 against the Lions, who would go winless that year. And he finished 3rd in MVP voting.
What year is this?
2008. And he, along with those other guys I mentioned, they were a big part of helping provide stability and consistent winning in Atlanta, which at that point the franchise had never had. Until that point, they had never had back-to-back winning seasons. He and the others, when he was here, they had 5 and went to a couple Pro Bowls. They went to an NFC championship. So yeah, Michael Turner's my number 1.
So what is Warwick Dunn, Jamar Anderson just kind of outside your generation?
Yeah. When we've had others, we've had Warwick Dunn, we've had Jamal Anderson, and I think in a matter of a couple years, Bijan Robinson might be at or near that number 1 spot, because right now he is 7th all-time regarding the team for total rushing yards, and he's only in year 3.
I just think Atlanta missed out on like 3 generations. Like you had it with like Anderson, Jamal Anderson, the Dirty Bird era, and then like a couple ways with Michael Vick, and then like just recently against the Patriots. Like if those like pretty good wins, even to throw in the Dion moment, because I don't think Brett Favre was there long enough to even make a big splash. But like if it was like that Dion, Warwick, those like really good moments that if they won a championship, I think it could have been like a new variation of like the Niners, but in the East Coast.
Brett Favre never tried when he was with Atlanta.
Yeah.
You can ask him himself. He never tried. He was awful. He wouldn't put in the work. He wouldn't put in the practice effort.
He's partying in Buckhead.
He got addicted to opiates while he was there.
He was still a frat boy.
Yeah. Like if you look at the team picture from the year he was there, he's not in the team picture because he missed it.
That's it. But yeah, just hearing your list and just remembering these years, like Atlanta is like a big what if. Like if these 3 Super Bowls, like in 15 years, 20 years, like could have been a different direction.
Well, at least in my lifetime, the 2 chances that missed opportunities, the ones that got away, 2016, we know that, but 2012, that team was better than the 2016 team.
Receivers you guys had like in the last 10 years.
Yeah. I wrote an article about it. Like we have had a run, there's not a lot that team does right.
Roddy White, Julio Jones, Kyle Pitts, Drake London.
And Roddy,
you've had a plethora.
The scout team is awesome.
And then before that, You go before that, you had Terrence Mathis.
Sorry.
You had Andre Rison, Billy
Boy.
White Shoes Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson was
But
stacked.
if you want to go to
Quietly.
my top 3 Detroit Lions running backs ever,
Give it to
Mhm.
us.
for the Lions, number 1 is Barry Sanders. Number 2 is Doak Walker. He was so good that the best running back in college award is named the Doak Walker Award. And number 3, Billy Sims. None of them come even close to any of those 3. Doak Walker was a part of a couple of our championships too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would say if we're talking Packers, I'm
Yeah,
gonna put
get it easy.
Aaron Jones, and he was a dual threat that made him, and he was one of the elite franchise best at 5 yards per carry average. So he was the dual threat. Number 2 would be Jim Taylor. He amassed 8,207 rushing yards and 81 rushing touchdowns. He was the NFL MVP in 62, and he helped the Packers win 4 league titles, including Super Bowl I. And then number 1, I would put Amon Green.
I was wondering if you'd have Amon Green in there.
Yeah,
I agree with
I was
that
waiting
list.
for somebody in this century.
Wait, Aaron Jones is this century. Aaron Jones played for Packers, and then he played for
He's playing for the Vikings right now.
Vikings right now.
I'm just saying, like you guys even had an awesome fullback.
Paul Hornung is honorable mention. He would be number 4.
Like, you guys have some pretty fullbacks as well too. Like a couple of
Don't forget Mike. Was it Mike Kuhn?
Say again.
Wasn't there a Mike Kuhn that was a good fullback for you guys?
I think so. He played when Aaron Rodgers played, right? Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Back in the early years.
Ozzie Davenport was a really good one as well too.
For Dallas, Dorsett, Emmett, and Calvin Hill. I agree with that list.
How about
who's your team, MDE, that you want to have your 3 running backs from for your top 3?
Eddie, how about would you have DeMarco Murray in there?
Not above Calvin Hill.
And definitely not Zeke. I don't think his Zeke's prime was not long enough.
No.
I will say Josh Jacobs has the potential to get up there but he hasn't been with Green Bay long enough that I would say, I mean, we've had some good ones. I mean, Lacey and stuff too, but and I think you're thinking of Kuhn, but Kuhn was a tight end. I don't think he let me see.
There was somebody with that weird German name.
Yeah, like Cowboys had like Felix Jones and a couple other people, Julius Jones as well. Julius Jones was I do remember him. Julius Jones was really good. He had his twin brother. Yeah, it was good. But like, it's just Emmett just was there, and it was Cowboys had some bad seasons with running backs.
Yeah, after Emmett, it kind of went downhill.
Mm-hmm.
It was two.
Plus
two
the
dudes.
SOB went to the Eagles. Absolutely, Prater.
And to Samir's
I
point,
can't put Gibbs above Walker. I can't put Gibbs above Walker until he plays 3 more seasons. That's just me.
Jeremy's expectations of these athletes are out of this world. Are like a reflection corner. Like, sir, you need more snaps unless you want to come on my list.
No, more games, more seasons. I want to see it consecutive. If
this guy had a minimum.
Yeah, that's the same reason I had Bijan out of my top 3 as of right now.
Right,
he plays a couple more years, and
Bijan and Gibbs, if you give them each 3 more years because they came out in the same draft, and they continue at the pace they're at, they have the ability to be the best for each of our teams.
So they're not even good enough to be like mentioned in the blurb. They're not. They got to wait to be mentioned that they're good.
Well, no, it's not that they have to wait to be mentioned. It's that they have to pick up some more accolades that other guys have already picked up.
Right.
If that
Billy
makes sense.
Sims.
That's
Billy
unfair.
Sims. Oh, wait, no. Billy Sims and Barry Sanders and Doak Walker, all three offensive rookie of the years for the league, not just the team. Gibbs was not an offensive rookie of the year.
That's difficult to even like compare.
Absolutely.
It's almost as if saying like there's a reason why triple crowns don't win too often in baseball. There's a reason why triple crowns don't win. You know what I'm trying to say? Like some accolades just can't be hit anymore.
You want to know something? Barry Sanders and Billy Sims was just on the Brad Galley show on YouTube. Barry Sanders and Gibbs. You want to know what they said about each other? Gibbs says, I modeled my game after Barry from watching his films. And Barry says, he's the most electric back I've seen since me.
Okay, I understand that, but if Barry played during this generation, if Barry played during this generation with all his freedom of running and sacks and loss for large, he would have got benched, he would have got sent, something would have happened. Like I'm saying,
you act like he had 2,000. You act like he had 2,000 negative yards. The record is 200.
I'm saying his style will be accepted this time around.
It actually still fits this time around. Trust me, because defenses are better than what they were then. And we didn't have an O-line like we had for Gibbs to start. But yet last year we didn't have a good O-line, and Gibbs still managed to pull off 1,200 yards. So I kind of put him at that same level, but he can't crack that top three till he does more games.
So I will come back and say the reason why I think the early 90 Cowboys are better than any team in the decade is that they had like 40 all-stars among back-to-back. But no one talks about how many all-star players were on roster, both offense, defense, who made it to the all-star. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, not only was this like, there's everybody, any team could have different push and plays, but like, it's unfair to compromise the Leon Lester, Charles Haley. Like teams won't be stacked like that anymore. So you just can't compare.
I rank Bo Jackson above AP because of the style of play he had.
I just found out Bo Jackson had like 13 games played in like the 4 years.
Yeah.
Well, and again, he didn't play until baseball was over.
Yeah, well, if Bo Jackson didn't get hurt, yeah. But like that's a what if. Definitely. What if.
He had a successful he had a proven record. He had a social proof of what it was. It wasn't like he was a few things away from being considered. Jackson had the consistently there. Like it wasn't like he had a spark. Like Chad Johnson had a good season for like 3 burn-back years, and he got that contract, and he just went down.
Okay, but again, you could argue so did AP, and then you have to consider, as I mentioned.
Well, AP has an asterisk, but he was doing it. He was doing it.
Yeah, but the reason why I have him there is ACL tear. When a running back has that kind of injury, they normally don't come back from it. Like
back then. Now they do.
Yeah, back then.
Cam Akers.
Well, they don't. They're not the same player usually when they come back. But then
that was the weird thing about Cam Akers. That first year back, when he came back to the Rams, was 2021. What did he do? Mm-hmm. Ran him way into the end zone at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was and then keep in mind the year after AP tour, he had an ACL and MCL tear, and it was like in December of 2011, so late in the season. Again, he almost broke the single season rushing yards record. He was like 8 yards away. And then at age 30, when he had the issues off the field and he had to sit out the year before, at 30, he rushed for 1,500 yards.
Came back. Like he never lost a step. It's almost as if like only because of offensive issue, but like Ray Rice had like 1 year. You know what I'm trying to say? Like if that. But like he's the one like would have, because that he didn't have a long enough glimpse to like keep it going, because he just had one, whatever. But he came after Rutgers, he was coming in like he was gonna be the next one. but then things happen. That's a big what if. But like AP was doing it year after year consecutively. Like he was it. Like he was disgusting in Minnesota. Like he was lean. He was a monster.
I think another what if for me, and this may not be from a talent standpoint, like when Le'Veon Bell left Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh had a really good offensive line. They had
wasn't he big? Was it like overweightish?
No, it was like he wanted a new contract, which is understandable. He didn't like the French. He didn't like playing at the franchise tag, which I get. You want your NFL player, especially running back, you want to get paid. So he held out, left Pittsburgh, but signed with the Jets for a similar deal that the Steelers offered. And he wasn't playing behind that good offensive line. He didn't have those skilled players, didn't have the quarterback, and he just wasn't the same player. I think they cut him after a year and a half.
It's tough.
And then people forget, and I think people forget this. He played a role in us losing the Super Bowl, missing that block, which led to Matt Ryan getting strip sacked. But Devontae Freeman, before Devontae Freeman got injured, before he had the injury issues, he was arguably a top 5 running back in the league for that 2-3 year period.
Okay, guys.
Todd Gurley's another what if. That's another one.
Bell had a horrible agent that miscalculated what would have happened. That was sad. Great talent. Well, I really like this conversation like this. I like this topic. So, yes, USA is now down 2-1 in the game.
Go. But they're still up. This is still the group stage, so
right.
They're going to cross over a lot lower because all these extra 2s are taking away the 4s that they scored, 7 that they scored. So it's going to be fun.
So since we did running backs for this week, I think next week, let's change it up. Let's go on the defensive side. So we kind of change it up a little bit. You guys want to go, what position on the defense do you want to, or do you?
I think linebackers would be interesting conversation across a lot of stuff, depending on.
It's 2-1 Turkey right now, but Turkey's already been eliminated, right? Turkey IE or whatever it is.
If they are eliminated, they could be spoilers by how many goals they're scoring against this team. Who are they going against? USA. Right? Oh yes. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm out of it. I'm still on this.
They're up 2-1 now after their latest score.
So USA was up I think they had like six goals scored total. Now they're down by 2, so they've got 4 points. Yeah, every score that Turkey scored.
They're down by 1. They're down by MD. You're not listening, Vargas. They're down 2-1, not 2-0.
No. I understand.
They're only down 1 score.
When you get scored against, it brings you down in your column as well too.
Right, but they also scored 1, so it only counts as 1 goal scored again. You know what I'm saying? They already scored 1 again. They had 6, so they have 7. That's what I was getting at. You forgot to add the 1 they scored.
For sure. There you go. Just linebackers in general. Just outside, inside. It's just the whole stack.
Oh my God, Katie, you open up to linebackers, you will probably cause more debate than the Senate trying to vote about what type of toilet paper.
The linebackers been inside, outside. Let's do it.
Let's do that for next week, I think. And I like the format of 5 overall and then 3 for your team because they're different lists. And we each have a different team.
What position?
Linebacker.
Nice.
I think that'll open it up a little bit. Well, guys, I know one of the other topics that I wanted to talk about is I saw today, and I don't know if any of you guys else saw it, but obviously we don't know if we're going to have baseball next year because obviously they are bargaining now. They're talking. But one of the things I thought that was really interesting is that what they want to do is they want to limit. If you're a free agent, you can only sign a contract for 5 years if you go to a different team, and you can sign if you stay with your same team. You can only sign a 6-year contract.
That's fine.
Thoughts on that?
That's fine. Because there's a lot of players who jump around different teams, and you got these teams with these ghost men on second salaries that's just eating up millions and millions of dollars. And this Schwarzer is getting paid by 5 different teams. Like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like, you just can't sign 7 years, get that guaranteed, and like opt out at a year 2. Like, come on, like that's insane. And the team's got to stick to that.
I mean, I'm all for a salary cap, but I don't like capping the amount of years a team can give. I do like them making deferring contracts not a thing. You shouldn't be able to defer contracts because it's how that's what the Dodgers are doing with Ohtani. They're doing with Kyle Tucker, I think, as well. They're doing with Yamamoto. So yeah, you shouldn't be able to defer contracts. So I'm for that. I'm for salary cap. I think the numbers with the floor and cap are, I think, just about right. But I think the years thing is ridiculous because I read somewhere that it would cost MLB players around $500 million in general. So the Players Association is definitely not going to go for that. Yeah, ban deferring money. Yeah, that's part of the new proposed CBA. The new proposed CBA includes a ban on deferring contracts. So there's that. So yeah, deferring money should be banned. I agree with that. Salary cap, yeah. Salary floor, yeah. The numbers are right. But how can, like, if you tell a team you can't give out more than 5 years at its age 30, right? At age 30, you can't give out more than 5 years. I don't like that concept. It's simply a bad concept when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that I don't think you need to limit how many years, although I agree, I don't like the deferred money. I don't like that. Should there be a cap? I mean, obviously most players aren't going to play 20 years, but how many there's no contracts that are that long though either. So
the 10 years for Shohei Ohtani with the life-changing money that he gets all at once at the end. He's already making life-changing money while he's playing. I'm sorry, $2 million a year over 10 years is $20 million. None of us will see $20 million in our lifetimes, even if we made $100,000 a year. If you think about it.
Well, and one of the other things that they're also talking about are that free agents switching teams could be paid a maximum of 15% of the team's payroll with 5% raises each year. The limit to contract length only applies to free agent years.
And that's 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's 5 years if you switch, 6 years if you stay with the same team. MLB is also proposing raising the minimum salary to $1 million for players with at least 2 years of service time and eliminating deferred compensation.
I don't hear too much, but I think seems like from the little that I don't hear too much, seems like the MLB Player Association does give good benefits to retirees. You know, I've heard bad stories with basketball, football, other sports, but I don't hear too many negative Player Association stories that no one's getting the benefits. They get their 10-year veteran and they get qualified. You hear stories with the LA Dodgers keep that person on payroll to pay for his benefits. You just hear a lot of good stuff from the Player Association. So I could go both ways.
Yeah. Do we think there's going to be a lockout next year?
Yes, 100% there will be, because of that.
100.
I say 80%.
I say
that 100%. Boy Jeremy got a press pass. He's out there on the table.
I say 100%, and it's due to the fact of what the players responded to what the owners offered. The owners said, hey, we're going to make it so those lesser teams that aren't spending money have to spend money. They have to spend a minimum of $172.2 million a year, and the max would be $300 million per year. So, and they responded, we do not want a cap. They had no problem with the floor in raising the minimum salaries of low-end players to $1.5 million a year, but they don't want a cap because these guys want these deferred contracts. There will be a lockout, 100%.
That man said,
and Eddie's saying 150% it'll be a lockout.
Yeah.
What was the comment before that? What was the comment before that? There was something about retired players.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I think it also depends if you're. I would say pitchers have it harder because it's basically, especially if you're a relief pitcher, it's kind of only a small percentage of them stick.
And that's the closers, the ones that can do it very well. Those are the ones that get paid the best. The mid relievers and the setup men, they don't make a lot
of money. Those are the ones that usually have to end up playing for a while, going from team to team. Like Jesse Chavez. How many teams did Jesse Chavez play for? I know he played for the Braves like 4 or 5 different occasions. I know he moved around a lot. But yeah, I think ultimately the way I see it is they have time. They have until December to come to a resolution. What was that name again? Jesse Chavez.
There'll be a season.
Jesse Chavez?
Yeah.
And what German said 100. Oh, I got an inside scoop.
Mm-hmm.
German said put some respect on my name. 100. I think Samir was being conservative when he said 80%.
He played for 9 different teams. He played for 9 different teams. He played for Pittsburgh Pirates, Atlanta Braves, Kansas City Royals, Toronto Blue Jays, Oakland Athletics, Los Angeles Dodgers, Los Angeles Angels 2 different times, Texas Rangers, and Chicago Cubs, and Atlanta Braves 4 different times. He played for them in 2010, his 3rd season in the league, and then he played from 2021 to 2025 with multiple stints in there.
Yeah.
So to add a NFL thing, because everything is always about the NFL, are relievers the same as like a journeyman kicker or journeyman second string quarterback?
The second string quarterback is probably closer. Because if your starter goes down, you want a competent second string quarterback to be able to step in if it's a short injury to get you to when the starter can play again.
Yeah, I would say the same thing.
These relievers get traded the most because they always want to bluster their bullpen, So it's like it might be industry standards that for a reliever to go around 7 different teams. It's like they do a lot of changes. The Mets just gave up so and so Peterson to the Cubs yesterday.
David Peter, he's a starter though.
But still, the Mets have been playing with relievers the entire time. There's no starter on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, their entire infield made an error last night.
What does that mean? What does Mets mean again as an acronym?
My entire team sucks.
The Metropolitans. Oh, yeah.
And my entire team sucks. Yeah, he's the one that said it.
Entire starting infield made an error last night, and we lost the series.
I want to bring up something real quick.
We lost
that
the series to them. I'll get to the Braves later, but yeah.
NFL wise, I want to bring something up. Did you see the new ref CBA and what they did get in? Because there's no strike. We're not going to have the replacement refs.
No.
Okay, so now if the refs are inaccurate, making bad calls, if they fall under a certain percentage at the end of the season, instead of going into the playoffs and being a lineman or line judge or something like that, they get demoted to the UFL, and the best ones from the UFL get called up.
Like the movie
I
replacement.
like that.
Sounds like
I
an Uber.
love it.
I like
I
that.
love it. I
Better
love
earn
it.
your-
Hold
earn your
them
calls.
accountable.
Round of applause. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Do you guys remember that move? Round of applause
That's
Yep.
it. That's
in
it.
living color. Remember that? 2 Men on Film.
Yes, sir. Hated it. But just to piggyback on our revs and to end the World Cup conversation, I do like how the World Cup are allowing playoff fouls, like these little BS.
Oh, the taking
Flopping.
back stuff. Yes.
These flopping that they do in the regular seasons. These refs like get up. We're not blowing the whistle on this. You know what I'm trying to say? So I do like how FIFA refs are allowing these hard playoff fouls and being tripped to an extent, but it looks pretty consistent on both sides.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm good. It was a great show today.
I think it's been a great show. Are we ready for My Town?
We are. Who wants to start?
I got one for you.
Okay, start us off, Jeremy.
On
man.
Wednesday afternoon, Terrion Arnold turned himself in to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Jail on Orient Road near Tampa. And if it comes out that he's guilty, I hope they hit the max. 4 counts of kidnapping and 4 counts of armed robbery, each one a felony that carries a weight of 8 to 15 years. If they run Terrion Arnold, the kid we drafted in 2024 to Detroit, the Detroit Lions. He is sitting with no bail until Monday. That's when his arraignment is set while they investigate this. What I am going to say is the arrest warrant wasn't issued till he showed up. The key thing is he turned himself in and then the warrants were issued. I think he's trying to get ahead of it. I think he's trying to make sure that it's not as bad as everybody's making it out to be. Because if he was guilty, a young man under 25 years old, I would have ran at 25 years old. I'm not going to lie. I'd have ran. I'd have hid. With the money he's got, I'd have hid. I ain't going to lie. I'd have hid.
Jeremy,
Because
you
when
are
you're
my
facing-
spirit animal.
If you're facing 80 to 120 years in prison, if they're going to run that consecutively and not concurrent, you run at 25 years old. That's the rest of your life in prison, even with parole.
Fire Up does not disown does not agree with the statement said here on the show.
I'm just saying, I'd have ran.
The South Florida Tribune acts independently from all comments said here on this show. The publisher,
I'm not saying he wouldn't have been found,
does not agree. Everybody acts on their own. I want to come back next Thursday. Let's go for this. Who is your Lucas?
Run, Forrest, run. Amen, brother.
But I mean, they would have found him. They would have found him.
I all you got to do is leave your phone behind, shut it off at the facility, and start running. Run, Flores, run.
Call Jeremy 2020s. He knows the ins and out.
Well, look, I will say this in regard to I mean, I was reading the facts last night. It doesn't look good, but I'm not going to downplay this. But look,
if he did it, he deserves whatever he gets. If he's found not guilty, all these people that are saying bad things about him need to stop. They start saying a thug is a thug. He had no issues in high school, no issues in college, and no issues up to this point.
Yeah. I will say this. You never know what that NFL money will allow you to get away with. You get that NFL money, a good attorney.
Yeah.
I mean, look, remember,
look at Ray Lewis.
Allegedly
killed somebody.
Well, look, we all thought James Pierce was going to go to prison back in February. That those charges are about to get dropped. So you never know what that NFL money lets you get away with.
Right. And I want to see the report from Hillsborough County DA and the sheriff's office where he turned himself in before I believe anything I see in print from anybody else. That's just how I am. I want to see the report. That's where I'm at. And in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty, no matter what's put in print.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Samir.
We had the NBA draft Tuesday and Wednesday. We got our point guard of the future, Kingston Flemings, at 8. We got the steal of the draft, Henry Vassar, a stretch 5 big, 7 foot from Kentucky. He was projected to go late first, early second. The reports were that him and his agent were telling teams ahead of the Hawks not to draft him. They were going to force their way to Atlanta. A lot of guys do that sometimes in the second round. Them and their agent will try to force their way to a team or maybe go undrafted so a certain team can sign them. But he wanted to come to Atlanta. He didn't want a two-way deal. The Hawks doesn't seem like they're going to sign him to a two-way deal, so we trade up to 52 from 57 and get the steal of the draft. And we also had a second first round pick that we got from the Cavs. We got Zuby Ejiofor, another big man from St. John's University. So now, and then we traded for Aaron Wiggins with Oklahoma City over the weekend. So now free agency's coming up. I would like for us to get another center, add more to our bench. And yeah, so Tuesday came as a surprise, not as a surprise to some. The Falcons re-signed Kyle Pitts, 3 years, about $54 million. 36 million of it is guaranteed over the next 2 years. My issue with the contract is not him getting paid. It's not the amount of money. I'm all for NFL players getting paid. Get paid when you can. My issue is more so the time. People forget what the consensus was on Kyle Pitts before the second half of last year. When Drake London went down, his targets went up, his production went up, and we got to this point.
Prior to that, they said he had Julio Jones disease, allergic to the end zone, because when you guys got in the red zone, he disappeared in your offense. He picked it up big last year.
Yeah, that I'll give him credit for. But here's the thing. The consensus was that he had underwhelmed and that the Falcons are just going to let him walk. And then he put up a good game against the Jets, good game against Tampa, and had a strong finish to the season. My issue is that we don't have a long-term answer at quarterback. We locked up Drake London, which was the right move. But then we locked up Kyle Pitts. We're going to lock up Bijan Robinson. So you're locking up all these skill players on your offense, which I don't have a problem with, again. But we don't have an answer at quarterback. We don't know who it's going to be in 2027 or even 2028. So, and we saw what we saw with Matt Ryan in 21 and then with Kirk, in 24 and then 20 and when he played last year, is that he does better when he has a veteran quarterback. So maybe I don't know, is Tua going to win the job? I don't know. Is he going to do better with Tua? I don't know.
Well,
It's just a
if you,
matter of what's.
when
It's
it
just a
comes to
matter.
that, look at Tua's last 2 seasons that he's been healthy,
Mhm.
because Tua is a better quarterback than Penix the last 2 seasons. He's been healthy for 2 years in a row. Everybody keeps talking about the concussions, but everybody forgets when he was recovering from concussion protocols and finished that season out. As soon as he could do it, he started taking judo lessons on how to take a fall without hitting his head and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That is what helped him out the most in his career, because it's still I called him Mr. Glass before the concussions because of all the injuries he had throughout college.
Yeah, for sure. But my only thing is, I would have waited one. Well, I guess the one positive spin you can make on it is you look at the system Kevin Stefanski runs. It's a lot of 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. It's very tight end friendly. David Njoku had some good years there. Harold Fannin, 3rd-round rookie, had like 750 yards and 6 touchdowns, or 5-6 touchdowns in that system. So tight ends have a track record of producing in his system. So I guess time will tell if that trend follows for Kyle Pitts, but I personally would have waited. There was no rush for them to sign him. You could have played under this franchise tag. If he played well, you negotiate a new deal next year. And yeah, one more. So the Braves are still slumping. They had a series win against Milwaukee, but then they go and get swept by the San Diego Padres. They've now lost 10 of their last 13. The Phillies won today. So after leading the NL East by 10.5 games at one point, that lead is down to 4. Again, the decision, I'll keep saying it until they add a starter, the decision to not add starting pitching this offseason was roster building malpractice. That's just what it is. It was a mistake, and it's coming back to haunt them, along with injuries to Ronald Acuna and now Drake Baldwin, who is, I think, 2 for his last 31 with 18 strikeouts since coming back. So, yeah, that's what's going on, and that's it from my town.
Fernando, what's going on in your town, me?
Saturday, I don't have nothing to talk about sports. Don't follow too close attention to the Marlins. But only thing, remotely close would be Saturday. I'm going to the watch party that the Panthers Arena is hosting. And then on Sunday, going to the Fan Fest with the wife in Miami or there in Brickell. So want to enjoy the excitement, want to enjoy it. Both from the Colombian side and American side, should be really good entertainment. And then for like the local hero, there's a pitcher called Chris Brinton from the Plantation High School. He got drafted by the Orioles and bouncing around as a reliever. And he is my local news.
So for all of you baseball fans, and next Tuesday, 500 cans of Miller Lite will be handed out for free for a toast to longtime Milwaukee Brewers broadcaster Bob Uecker. The event is a celebration of the new mural that they did in downtown Milwaukee. It's actually on one of the side of the buildings. So they're going to have a tailgate party for him. And it's Tuesday, June 30th. And it's going to be at 731 North Jackson Street. They're going to have speakers, food, games, and more. And yes, 500 cans of Miller Lite. The other part of, there's a lot of things I could be talking about in my town. For those of you that all know that I'm a Milwaukee fan, obviously they traded their star player in the NBA to Miami. So Giannis Antetokounmpo is no longer a Milwaukee Buck. He brought them a championship back in 2021. He was going to be a free agent after this next season anyways. And Milwaukee just doesn't have the money to pay. And he wants to win a championship. So I get it. But Milwaukee did a lot for him, and he did a lot for Milwaukee. So with that, he is moving on to Miami. But the one thing that Fernando, I thought you might catch this one, but you didn't. So I will say, former FAU forward Baba Miller becomes the second FAU Owl in program history to be drafted, heading to the LA Clippers with the 36th pick in the 2026 NBA draft. So congratulations to Baba Miller from FAU.
Yeah. There's just certain sports I just don't tiptoe in.
I understand.
But that's a good point. That's a good point. FAU, right down the street.
Exactly.
Eddie, I want to
go. I'm sorry. Yeah, but just to end it, just to piggyback with Candy, I'm happy that FAU, the UCFs, these programs are being
USF.
recognized. These programs are put out there. Yet that guy with one hand at a UCF get picked up, the linebacker, I think it was. But yeah, I'm glad these programs are being featured. FIU, FAU, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was cool, so I had to. And Eddie, I don't know that Tyler Hero will even be, much less finish next season. I don't
think he'll start. That's what I was just going to say. I've heard trade rumors already that they're willing to trade him away. So I think it was more about getting Giannis out of Milwaukee from the Bucks than it was about getting Tyler Hero to him.
Yeah, the brothers stay,
Tyler Hero,
or the brothers got traded too.
Giannis got traded away for Tyler Hero, two other guys, and a boatload of picks, including one was a first-round pick swap between the two teams.
I'm saying, but what about Giannis's brother? Is he the one with the brothers that's on the team too?
No, he got cut.
Well, yeah, the team told him that they were going to be waived. So, yeah. But Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez are young. They have a lot of potential. They're going to be there. They can be a part of that, whatever new core they decide to build. But yeah, I did see the Pistons as a potential team that they could reroute Tyler Hero to, because the Pistons do need another scorer alongside Cade Cunningham.
I don't think we're getting Tyler Hero. I think the asking price that they want because of what they gave up is a little too high. Even though we did just get 3 future second-round picks for Isaiah Stewart from the Memphis Grizzlies. I think we're more in the market for either Trey Murphy or MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. I think that's who we're in the market for. And I think those two make more sense because they actually play a little defense, unlike Hero.
Going to be interesting, obviously. With that being said, anything else, any other topics you guys want to bring up? Otherwise, we're going to bring it home. Samir, how can people find you?
So you can find me on Fire Up every Thursday night. You can find a lot of my content on a 3-point conversion in the South Florida Tribune. You can also find a lot of my content on Instagram at samir.sideline.net and on X at ATL_Samir2401. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next week.
Fernando, how can people find you?
I'm a corporate man. I like my job here at South Florida Tribune. So you can find me at all platforms, South Florida Tribune. I just wanted to say I follow the legal rules here at South Florida Tribune. I don't condone any mischiefs.
Mr. Jeremy, how can people find you?
Well, you can find me right here on this channel twice a week. Tuesday nights on Inside the Pigskin, and then right here Thursday nights where the country club comes alive because we're fired up.
As we are. Stirring
and
the
then
pot.
you can find my writings about as much Detroit sports as I can do on the South Florida Tribune under the contributor writings under the Motor City Tribune heading. And then you can find me on my channel, which is KCV Sports Network, where I go live every day but Sunday, and that's probably going to change after the drafts are done for the other two sports. Holy smokes, I'm addicted. But that being said, you can also find me on Twitter under Smokin' Jeremy. You can find me on Instagram under Smokin' Jeremy B1. And you can also find me right here whenever they need me. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love to everybody, but I must bid you adieu. It's late.
I understand. Here's my spiel. South Florida Tribune Publishing Company published a book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It is written by my husband, Scott, the Motor City Madmouth Morganroth. Talks about his 40-plus years in the media business and how it has evolved. Old school media versus new school media. Go get your copy today. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Google, and Apple Books. The audiobook is also out there. There's a link on our website, www.southfloridatribune.com, where we have a plethora of content, so go check it out. Samir writes, Jeremy writes, I take pictures, my husband writes. Go check it out. There's lots of good content on there. If you want to advertise or you want to be on a show, like Fernando, he wanted to be on the show. He emailed us, southfloridatribune@gmail.com, and look at where he's at now.
That's it.
On the country club. Anyways, Monday nights we do baseball. Tuesday nights we do football. Wednesday nights, honestly, you don't know what my husband has up his bag of tricks because he brings out all the stops. So you have to check it out. Thursday nights, he talks either hockey or soccer before us. And tonight it was soccer since World Cup is going on. And then, of course, this is the country club. But then Saturday mornings, we also do a baseball show right now during the season. So definitely make sure you turn your notifications on if you subscribe to our channel, because then you'll be notified every time we go live. Last but not least, we started a new YouTube channel, Destination Discoveries Media Network. Talks about our travels. So we go to a destination and we do all kinds of discovery at the destination. This last weekend we went to Key West. And when I say we went to Key West, let me see if I still have. Oh, I don't have. Let me get this. I got to get this picture up for you guys. I'm going to show you guys. We got to feast on, if you know anything about Florida, key lime pie. Now look at that piece of key lime pie down at Blue Heaven in Key West. So that's on. We did a video there. We did a bunch of other videos, the southernmost point in Key West. We're going to bring up our videos that we did overseas. We went to Spain and Portugal, Germany, Paris. We went last year to Iceland and Norway. They're all going to be up there eventually. So definitely make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. QR code up in the top left is the Destination Discoveries YouTube channel. With that being said, thank you everybody that has been in the chat room. We appreciate all your comments. Next week again, NFL linebackers, top 5. Have a great week. Enjoy all the sports going on. Thanks, everybody.